Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of 50 Shades of Over 50. I am so excited to introduce my guest today. Her name is Adelina Winfield. Welcome.
Hi, so glad to be here and see your beaming, shining, smiling.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you're here. So, one of the first questions I always ask all my guests is their age. So, how old are you?
I just turned 65 in April.
Yeah.
So a milestone year,
Yeah.
officially senior, right? I'm officially, hey, 65, you're a senior, even though
Right.
some people do 55 plus, but
Yes. Thank you so much. And listen, if you're not following her on Instagram, you need to follow her. I'm going to put her Instagram page down below. I mean, she just talked about, her birthday and how she was showing up and the way she was dressing. It was just inspiring to see. So if you're not following her, you need to follow her. So today we're going to talk about so many different things. But one of the things I really want to touch on first, which I think is a struggle, maybe even more of a challenge for a lot of women in their 50s and beyond, is relationships and dating. And I've noticed that, at least in my community, a lot of the women, they're at that point where they're newly divorced. And now they're like, okay, I want to start dating. And it's like, how does this work? It's like so different from, and some of them were in long marriages. So it was so different from when they were single. And they're like, how do we navigate this? Like, how does it even work? The online, in person, we had COVID. So it's just like so much going on. So tell me a little bit about your experiences with that.
okay, everything that you just said is so true. First
Mhm.
of all, I've seen some of your other guests, so I don't feel bad about this, and none of us should feel bad about this.
Yeah.
At this age, many of us have been married a few times, myself
Yes.
included, and I used to be ashamed, I've been married a couple of times, more than once. And when you go online, guess what? Everybody else has too.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I was really shocked at that, so I no longer had to go like, well, because everybody's in the same boat. It's just a phenomenon. We are
Yeah.
not like our parents who stayed together, or had, it's
Yeah.
just the way it
It's
is.
just different. Yeah.
It's different. So it was a challenge. I was in my second marriage of 16 years. It just was not working out. And when I found myself single again, I realized that I had to jump into the online age reluctantly.
Okay, I was
It was
gonna say exactly. How was that for you though? Like,
scary, scary. So, because I had never really done that before, and
mhm. And
you're not
how old were
meeting.
you at the time? How old were you when you did that?
I This is a funny story. I think I was 56.
Okay. All
So
right.
I was 56 when I went online, but it was like, how when you're jumping double dutch and
Yes, like in and out, in and out.
and then you make the jump. Well, I made the plunge. I was really scared because you hear of all these things, right?
Yes.
Like people are scammers and all that.
Yeah.
I ended up online for 4 years off and on. So I became pretty adept at, checking people out and
So you
kind of,
kind of became a pro, kind of. You kind of
yes,
knew.
yes, yes. But my first date was, it was interesting. It was a guy who lived not too far from me, but it was a
Hmm.
culture shock because I was like, oh, he's kind of cute. Oh, this will work out. And then when I met him, and I just wanted to do coffee,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
But
Yes.
he insisted, because we had been chatting and talking,
Yeah.
he insisted on, no, let's meet and, have dinner, blah, blah, blah. So I did. And when I got there, I was like, oh my God, he doesn't look like his photos.
Okay. So can I ask though, did he look anything like his photo, or not even?
He looked similar to his photos, but what a lot of people do is they post older pictures. So
Mhm.
note to everyone out here who's going online. Number one, post pictures current of yourself, and then ask whoever you're interested in, is that a current photo? Because
Nice. Listen, lady, did you hear that? Ask if it's a current photo.
people do that a lot. They really do.
Yeah, because they'll say that's a picture of me, but yeah, that was a picture of you from 10 years ago. Seriously.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
have changed.
Yeah, yeah. So let me just make it quick. So he didn't look like his photo, and he
Hmm.
wasn't a bad looking guy, but it looked like he had lost like 100 pounds. So, the extra skin. All right,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Kudos to losing weight, but you just didn't look like your photo. And then
exactly.
we ended up first we had drinks and then we went to dinner. And then by the time we had dinner, I was like, oh my God, I should have just had coffee, because now I'm in
Yeah.
spending time with him. And by the end of the evening, we both knew that it was not a match.
Yes.
So I would suggest just go for coffee no matter what first.
So follow your instinct, because that was your first instinct, coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah.
And I'm telling, all the people out there, men and women, just get coffee, because that way it's an easy out. If you're not feeling the person, if there's no chemistry, you can be like, oh, gotta go, or this was nice, I don't think we're a match, or whatever, this was nice, but so that would make it simple. So that's my first advice, just coffee.
Yeah.
Because you can kind of feel if you want to go on.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. So that was it. And then, I started going on more and more dates, and I got more comfortable. Many of them were no, that you meet them and it's like, no. First of all, get on the phone kind of as soon as you can, so you can talk to them and
okay.
see how they converse, check out the way they write. If they're like, hey babe, and that's all they write, delete. If you want them to be interested in you, tell them a little about themselves and ask about you.
Right.
And if they're just like that, then, and then you can kind of figure out from the phone call. The next step is the video chat. That's the real deal, because you can even decide at that point if you really want to go for coffee.
So question though, is this all through the app, or you're doing this outside of the app? Like the video chat, is that through the app?
No, you kind of move over outside of the app, but I don't know, maybe they've started new things now, they're doing new things all the time. It might be possible to do it within, because companies are concerned about safety, so you can check that out. It's been a few years.
But that's nice though. I like the idea of initiating a video chat before you actually meet in person. That's a great one.
Actually, so that worked for me, because my now fiance, we met online. We had a long distance relationship, and his photos were horrible. So he reached out to me. I would have never reached out to him based on his photos. But then when we got on the video chat, I was like, oh, oh, I could work with this.
That's interesting, because some people don't even know how to post good pictures. Some people are great with that, but some people are like, I'll just put whatever picture out there. So that's interesting.
And men are not, I'm sorry, this is not sexist, but sometimes they're not as conscientious. They'll post faraway pictures or blurry bad pictures with a fish or in their car.
Okay, so what's up with the fish photo though? Seriously. I'm like, I heard a lot of women say that, like, what's up with the fish? Women are not interested in the fish photo. Say your friends, like fish.
I don't know. It's a thing. So, so those are the things, a coffee date, check them out, see how they communicate. You kind of know in your gut. At this point in your life, in your gut what you want and what you don't want.
Yeah.
I met a couple of guys that I had coffee with, and I was like, nah. You're very nice, but we're not a match. So that's it. I don't know if you want me to talk about people who are kind of reluctant to do this, because I have friends who helped with their profile, and I would tell them what kind of photos.
So you saying you're helping them, so is there an art to that?
They'll ask me, because they see that I'm in a successful relationship, thank God, and so they want to know some tips and and I'll help them with their profile, with the photos, what you write, because I've learned through the years what you should and shouldn't put in. Don't make your list of, I don't want this and I don't want that, and make yourself approachable. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of competition out there online, so you want to stand out.
Yeah. See, they need to think of it as a resume. Like when you're applying for a job, put your best foot forward. Put all, so.
Yes. So I noticed that fear is the biggest thing. Like a lot of people they'll ask me to help, I'll help them out, and then they never go online. Or they go online for 2 weeks and say, it didn't work for me. Ladies, it took me 4 years, off and on. So you have to, number one, believe. You have to just be discerning. and it's like a science to it. And like you said, resume, look at their resume and just,
Yeah. Like, do I like their resume? Okay. And then decide what you want to put out there for yourself to attract the other person. Now, were there certain sites that you went to? Did you go to numerous sites or you just stuck with one?
numerous, numerous. Match.com was nice. I did interracial match. I did the Christian ones. I did eHarmony trial. What did I do? Oh, and then I did those free ones. Do you know the
Mhm.
free ones? I forget.
No.
Plenty of Fish and there's like all the. I don't recommend the free ones because I
Okay.
think personally, and this is
Yes.
just my opinion, I think people who are seriously looking will pay a little bit
Okay.
for a
Okay.
quality mate or
Yes. Yes.
quality
Makes
date.
sense.
Let me
Makes
say it like
sense.
that.
What about Bumble? Did you ever use Bumble?
I did not. Is that more of a hookup
See,
kind
I
of?
don't know. I just see it online and I was like, is this, what are the pros, what the cons? Don't know. So I just said I would ask when I see you.
Yeah, the main thing is, like I said, I would just tell everyone, don't be afraid. Nobody's gonna, at this point in your life, nobody's gonna come knocking on the door and ask you for a date. Nobody, I mean, it might happen, but what are the chances of you meeting someone
Yeah.
on the street like you used to, hey
Yeah.
baby, you wanna go to dinner? It's not like it used to
Yeah.
be. So you have to get off the couch, go to coffee, go online, even if you just do it for fun, just to get it
Yeah.
practice. So those are my things that I would suggest.
Wow. That's nice. So yours was 4 years and oh, that's so exciting though. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Yay.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. And I guess for you, so where did you finally find your match? Was it on eHarmony? Where was it? Which,
It was on Interracial Match.
oh, nice.
So
Yay.
yeah. So and everybody's on there, all
Yes,
nationalities, all
bounties.
kinds of folks. And I found him on there. And I was about to get off. I would
Oh, wow.
what I would do is go on for 3 months, redo my profile, go on a different, I just did it like that. And
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
nice.
wow. That's exciting. So, I mean, so for those listening, it's not just like, okay, I'm just going to go there for a few weeks and it's not working. Like, okay, it's not working. If this is something you are really interested in doing, you're going to have to invest the time
Exactly.
and put
Exactly.
in the
Just
work.
like everything, you have to put in the work. And sometimes it's grueling and whenever I would get off, it was kind of like, oh, there's nobody out there. And then I would get back on and I'm like, there's gotta be somebody out there.
Thank you. And there is. Yeah, there are people out there. And you just have to find the one that's your match because there are people
Mhm.
out there. It's just figuring out. And I think also with women, I think it's important for us to go for what we truly want and not to settle. Because
Right.
I think we're at an age now that we actually know what we want and what we don't want. And so,
That
yeah.
is so true. That is so true. And also, it's nice to get in practice again because many of us have not been in relationships or around men
Yeah.
for a while, and then you're kind of in your own zone. So it gives you
Yeah.
going on coffee dates gives you practice again, kind of being
Yeah.
around relationship, around a
Yeah.
man or whatever. So
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. Of course, be safe. Be
Yes.
always be in a public place where there's a lot of people on your first
Yeah.
couple of dates.
Yeah, that makes sense too, because you don't want to go on a date where it's in a secluded place if it's your
Mhm.
first date, since you don't know who the person is. So yeah, and I like the idea of coffee because you're going to a coffee shop and more than likely there are going to be people there. So you don't feel, you know, you want to be safe, but that gives you a level of safety that you're comfortable with because you're in a safe space. Cool.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
Yay.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing that. So I want to know more about your, like for you though, as you've gotten older, like what have been your challenges? Because I see you out there. You're just like out there. You look so happy. Your fashion sense. And I just want to hear it because I know there are lots of women who I've interviewed who are struggling, like women I've interviewed offline who have said, you know what, this being over 50 is just tough. It's just hard. And what has helped you and what have been your challenges, if any?
Well, that's perfect for what I wanted to share because it is a challenge. And what happened with me, I was a designer for many years. I'm from Brooklyn. Right now I'm in Arizona, but I'm from Brooklyn. That's why I'm from Fly Granny BK, because BK stands for Brooklyn.
Yay. Yeah.
But what happened to me is exactly what you are talking about. In 2010, I was downsized, fired, whatever,
Mm.
let go with a bunch of other people after 30 years in the garment business. I was a designer
Mm.
in New York. I did children,
Oh,
ladies. It was
wow.
it was such a great life of travel, design, creativity.
Wow.
And each company I was with for like 10 years, 8 years. I wasn't,
Mm.
so I was pretty established, and I got downsized, and all of a sudden, my sense of identity
Mm.
was a little bit lost. Not only that, I was going through a rough marriage, and then I was an empty nester. So I had
Oh,
those three
all
things:
three things. Oh, at the same. Oh, wow.
divorce, empty nester, and then you're going through
Career thing, like,
postmenopausal.
oh goodness, yes, yes, add that. So it's like, bam.
So it
Woo.
was everything. So I have to say, for a few years, I struggled to find myself. So late,
Yeah.
I think it's normal if you're in that stage, especially if you're an empty nester, because when you're working, you give everything to the job. When you're a wife, you give everything to your
Yes.
husband, and then children, right? So
Same
you
thing.
don't realize that
Yeah.
there's you,
It's
and suddenly there's you.
like, and then you're like, who am I?
Who am I? What do I do? My whole identity was I felt like the earth was shaking.
Mm.
Really, really. So I
Yeah.
I can identify, and I didn't know what to do. My creativity I lost the flow. All my creativity was in work, and I was always doing other things.
Mhm.
And I just kind of lost my way. So what I ended up doing after I got a divorce is I upped, and I had no kids at home, whatever. I said, I'm moving to Austin, Texas.
Oh, wow.
I just got in the car, dropped my youngest son off to college. He was in his
Why
last,
Austin though? Why Austin at that time?
because I had visited and
Yes.
loved it.
Yes, beautiful place. Yeah.
Loved it. Sorry.
Oh no, please. That's fine.
So to me, it was the perfect blend of city and like
Yes. The vibe
nature.
there is amazing. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So I just upped and got in my car, put everything that I could fit in my car, dropped my son off, met a friend who she helped me drive, and I stayed there for 3 years, and I loved it. I loved it.
Wow.
I loved it. So that was a shot in the arm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, I kind of got my mojo back. I did a lot of dating out there, just
Yeah.
coffee, coffee, coffee.
Yeah.
I had coffee going on all the time. So I
Yeah.
did that. And then I came back to New York. My son and his wife were having issues, and I was just in prayer a lot. And, I
Mm.
was like, I felt led to come back. And I came back. I
Yeah.
thank God that, not because of me, but I thank God that they're back together.
Okay.
The
Nice.
family is intact.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I was in town. So I came
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
but I had already met my fiance. So we
Oh,
were
nice.
doing long distance.
Oh, nice. So for
So,
you though, when you left, when you got downsized, when that happened,
oh,
did you
yeah.
go back into that industry on your own, or what did you do?
I had a few freelance gigs after
Mhm.
that,
Yeah.
a couple of
Yeah.
things, and that's when I realized that that stage and that time was kind of done.
Mm.
The industry changed a lot. It was just different, and like I said, I did a few things. I was able to do one remote job.
Mhm.
It wasn't the same as it was when I enjoyed it in my 20s
Oh,
through my
yeah.
40s. It was
Yeah.
great. So,
Yeah.
it
Oh, that's wonderful. But I think for you, I mean, I love the story of where you said, you know what, you just decided, you know what, let's do it. Let's do Austin. And I'm sure there was probably some apprehension because you were going to a new city, right? Did you know anyone there? Did you know anyone?
no one, no one, no one. I
Love.
really didn't, except the realtor who was helping me. No one, but I connected with an amazing church, and I have some of
Mm.
my best friends are still there.
Oh,
That
wow.
was really great. It was scary and it was different, but I was like, hey, why not? If not, my mother used to say, if not now, when?
When? Exactly. And that's true. I really believe in that completely because if you can't do that, when? And you don't want to be left with, oh, I wish I had. So you did it. You can check that off like, stayed in Austin for 3 years.
Yeah, and I loved it. It's a great city. It's getting crowded now, but it's a
I
great.
know, but it's changed, but it's still a beautiful. But it's changed because so many people love the place, and
Yeah,
that's why more people are moving down there. So,
yeah.
yeah,
Where are you located, by the way?
Atlanta.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness, hot
yes,
Atlanta. Everything is
yes.
happening there.
I know. I've been here and I moved here in '96 after the Olympics. I came for the Olympics. I was like, wow, and I moved. I used to be in Boston, but I was like, Atlanta and Boston is like night and day. I was like, I moved. I'm like, okay. And then 2 months later, I was in my 20s. I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Oh, nice. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, okay. So the other thing I want to cover is your hair. Love your gray hair. Have you always let it be gray, or is that a new thing for you? Tell me about that journey.
That's another story. So I've had a little gray hair like many people through their 20s, like little strands.
Yeah.
Then in my late 30s, I started to get it at the roots. And for many years, I just used henna, right? Then when the grays, they get kind of resistant, then you have to go to box dye.
Yes.
Then I started, because they were coming in fast and furious, I started going lighter and lighter and like blonder and blonder to camouflage it. And the blonder I went, because you have to bleach, my hair was coming out.
Yes.
Oh, my hair was so fried. My son, my oldest son, has always been a cheerleader. And he just many years ago said to me, bring out your inner storm, let it go. And I was like,
oh, I love that.
Yeah, it was great. Now that I think about it, I wasn't ready. I was not ready. So he would tell me, and then my daughter-in-law piped in too. You'll look great. I was like, no. Finally, I got tired of it. And at 60, I decided, you know what? I'm going to do it right before my 60th
Wow.
birthday. Because I was dyeing my hair every 2 to 3 weeks. It was just too much. It was
too much. You're like, I'm done with this. Wow.
Right. And then I was just, I just had a regular Instagram account like everybody else, just family miscellaneous. And then I started posting, I had the gray braids, and one of my Silver sisters, Naturally Graceful, found me. And then I found the Silver community, and the rest is history. We showed the transition, and that's how it started.
Wow.
So it took 2 years, because people want to know, for me to grow it out, it took 2 years.
Oh, 2 years.
Stop it. People cut it off. Sometimes people do a buzz cut when they can't, don't have the patience. So it took me 2 years. But last year I had COVID. And a lot of my hair came out. So it's a lot thinner than it was, but it's coming. Thank God.
Wow.
It's
Looks
back.
great. Wow.
Thank you.
We can't even tell that, but yeah, it looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I wanted to share that story. I wanted to know your story, because so many people have different stories behind them going gray, and allowing their gray to show, I should say, because we all go gray in various degrees, and just allowing yours to just shine. I just wanted to know the story behind that, and that's just encouraging and inspiring. Yes.
Thank you. And it really it changed my life. Once I got online and became part of the Silver community, it just added, how I told you that I was in that space of feeling empty, and just, it kind of gave me a new perk. Number one, I didn't know that I wouldn't look old with gray hair. People think they're going to look old. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't look old as I thought. And so it gave me new zest, right?
Yes.
Started over again, learning about Instagram, posting, bringing my fashion sense and background. So it infused a new thing. So if anybody out there is on the fence, I would suggest do it. You have to be ready, but do it. You're not going to look old. We are not our grandma's grandma. And I'm a grandma. So
exactly. Totally different era. It's different. And we I always say we're redefining what aging looks like right now. It's just different for us. The way we dress, how we show up, it's just different.
It is. And it's great. So.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. And the last question is, so what do you do to stay in shape? Because you look amazing. What do you do?
Thank you. It's a bit of a struggle, because although, I'm trying to still look fly, but
you do look fly. Let's rephrase that.
Thank you. But, as you get older, you have joint issues. So
Yeah.
not everybody experiences that, but I do. In fact, Dave just had a hip replacement.
Mhm.
And I might be next because my right hip is
Yeah.
bothering me, my joints bother. So what I do is I do quick YouTube workouts at home.
Nice.
I do walk, but there's some great quick workouts, like a half hour. And
Yeah.
then my son always tells me at this age we need to strengthen. You
Yes.
look amazing,
Yes.
so
I do. I do the weights because,
yes,
but
yeah,
you're right though. In the mornings, like I tell people, like in the mornings, it's a struggle getting up in the morning sometimes, but I'm like, okay, you know what, Kwavi, just do it, just do it. And then afterwards, I feel great. But it's
do.
not as easy as, for me, at least I know it was easier working out when I was younger. I'm like, yeah, let's go, let's go. Now I'm like, okay, let's go. But
I
it's,
know
you
you
know,
have to fit it in
you
because
have to. That's the
what
thing,
I
though.
say, if you don't use it, you lose it. And
Yes.
there are so many, you don't have to work for an hour, at workout for an hour or two.
No.
I do a half hour, 40 minutes. There are a
Yeah.
lot of 10, 15, 7-minute workouts. You could do a couple of those.
Yes.
So it's a wonderful time to be alive.
Yes.
It's right here.
That's it. That's it. It's a wonderful time to be alive. And so we can all do our part to just kind of keep these bodies of ours. Because I see this, I see a lot of us living into our 80s and 90s just because of the way the world is now. So
Yes.
decisions that we make today are going to affect how we're going to be in our 80s and 90s. So yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But thank you so much. I really appreciate you sharing this with my audience. And I know they're going to get so much out of this. I know they're probably taking notes. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you
Good.
coming. And for those listening, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Take care, everyone.
Thank
Thanks
you.
once more. You're
Thanks
welcome.
for having me.
You're
Bye.
welcome. If you enjoyed listening to the show, you have to take a look at Flourish, my monthly online community for women in their 50s and beyond. We talk about the important issues affecting women in their 50s and over and provide tools and resources to help you live your best life. Join me by clicking the link Flourish Online Community in the About Me section below. I'd love to have you join me. See you there.